I don't know what to say. I may have just stop it. So this literally may be video number two. Might, I don't know what happened there, but something did happen, and so I hope this is not, and it's still the continuation of where I had paused from before. But if it's not, this is video number two of video number one. So just in case, if that is the case, please make sure to watch video number one to get up to video number two. Okay, but I'm just pretty much gonna pick up wherever it is that I think I left off, as I'm remembering it, and just yapping away, right, babbling, right. So right, to know that people waste their time and stuff like that, right? Um, and to always know that you've always been adamant about energy manipulation. I guess like moralistically, it doesn't mean you're perfect in this life. I made plenty of fucking mistakes. It's nothing to do with that. But you live and you learn, right? I'm thankful for my ability to learn from my own experiences, which have afforded me the opportunity to choose for myself my next step, energy, frequency, vibration, which is lighting up my path, despite anything else that might be going on around me. To know that I am capable of choosing for myself my attitude, right? One of my favorite quotes helped me through a lot. Can change the reality of something. Oh, prisoner. Couldn't change that reality. So I had to change my perception of it. That shit was hard. Especially when I was every night, every morning, every day, having to wake up in a reality. It didn't matter what I knew could be from that people get. So yeah, it's challenging, right? Especially if you find yourself in a tough position. Like the reality of like, losing my mother. Some people, when I was through my little angry, real sarcastic stage of after she had passed away, and people asked me, or they would say, "Oh, I'm so sorry that your mother died." My 10-year-old self, my 11-year-old self, like, why are you so sorry? You didn't kill her. And I don't fucking hear you're sorry. Because that was, I'm going through my own grieving process when I'm sharing with you. I'm not saying that's where I'm at now. Fuck now. You know what I'm saying? But I was 9, 10, 11. And I was sick of fucking people telling me that they were sorry that my mother passed away. And then hearing whatever condolence line they were able to conjure up, and most of it was all repetitive. No matter who was saying what, it's like the same fucking line used by everybody. So like, I don't even fucking know that. There've been times that I was told, "Don't speak like that. Hey, don't do that. Like, make me feel bad, right? For speaking the way that I felt, like, and so sarcasm you can realize now is like a tool, right? They have humoristic sarcasm, right? That's a human defense mechanism too. Could be used as one. Is it a personality quirk or a conditioned personality quirk? It's hard to say what we could naturally be when we've been so conditioned into everything. So we really don't know because we're so heavily influenced from conception in this perceived reality. It's three-dimensional, right? Even though there are people that know more than others, nobody knows shit. And so with that wisdom, we have the opportunity to choose for ourselves that, wow, you know what? In all of this infinite wonder, me and my mere humanism can't possibly even compare to the vast infiniteness of infinite, right? Because this human vessel here has a time stamp, right? We were skin and bones and then we die, right? And then the semantics of life is belief systems galore. And who's right and who knows more, you know? It's like, shut the fucking door. Hey, we slice away at the multi-dimensions of all that is and go back to the infinite, which is always, and be open to that experience, knowing that you don't know shit. I guess it must be wisdom from a past life experience when even as a small child, and she's like, you're so wise, and I'm like, I know nothing. I don't claim to know anything, it's just whatever. And then my claircognizance, right? And they're like, how do you know? I'm like, I don't know how I know, I just know. It's always my response. I don't know how I know, I just know. I don't know how I know, I just know. I don't know how I know, I just know. Right? So many of you might be like that too. I don't know how I just know, I just know. And it's always been like that. So the recognition of wherever it is that you are right now on your evolutionary journey is the waking up to and the solidifying of that knowledge. Because again, if we break down knowledge and power and empowerment and retaining information and stuff like that, we have been fed so much nonsense down our conditioned selves that we retain a lot of information we don't even need to fucking retain. It's like useless information. It's like static to distract. You can identify it as that, but static is just going to be static. Has a role, function, purpose. It does what it does, and our circuits react to the static circuits in that kind of way, right? But you can think about it, overthink it, and say, oh, static is trying to ruin my life. No, static is living its purpose, doing its thing, and you're reactive to its static that's on you. You know what I mean? In terms of how you choose to proceed. I drove myself mad too with the okay, just even understanding conditioning to its root of roots, meaning there is nothing natural about any environment. So what is what? And what would be? So my question always goes back to who were the first babies and how did they come to be and who cared for them, you see? Because even the first babies came from some seed of a motherly kind of breed of something. So see, and even that came from something. So you know? Anyways, that's not what this is about. But yeah, so maybe, you know, especially for the type of people that I have spoken to throughout my entire life, whether we are friends now or not, or whatever the case may be, and the ones that I have become close to in any kind of part of my life, even if it was passing, you know, like my longest standing relationships, friendships that ended abruptly, you know, back in 2016, up until that point, those were my longest standing friendships outside of family, blood, you know what I'm saying? And that was like over 20 years of friendship gone, right? And so since that time, you know, since on the lava, things erupt, it was a circle of friends that I'm no longer a part of, right? And I was the outcast. And so what's the whole point of that? Okay, we're going deep. All right, into the abyss of just what is all of this, right? There we go, right? What is all of this? Any of this, right? Evolution of this whole entire mass, mass of creation, right? And so, maybe you are, so yeah, that was what it was. So I know that in my own life experience, those that come into contact with me, where we conversate, no matter how big or small is our conversation, and any and all of you who do watch this and have ever conversed with me, then you know we deep. And that's pretty much the kind of energies that I draw. I don't really do, not saying that I don't, yeah, I've never really done so much of a superficial, like, I never know what's going on in present day society. I've always been out of the loop in that department. So, I learn everything from the externals around me. Like, oh, okay, yeah, So I've always been kind of aloof and like what's hip, what's trending, what's I'm still aloof. I learned a lot of things, but I like simplicity in all of it. And so if it doesn't work simply, like an app or something, um, me no use it. And I don't utilize it. I have to genuinely like it to something and it has to work for me. So like the whole TikTok thing with the lip syncing part, it finally like sunk in. My dad has showed it to me numerous times of how to do it. And it just wouldn't stick. And it's because, hard-headed learning, like, sometimes we don't listen as well as we think we do. I thought I listened, I thought I watched, and then the moment I walk away, I'm like, what? How did I do this? So finally, after, third or fourth time, third time's the charm, right? We'll go there. I learned it. And so now I do it. And now I love it. I'm like, oh, okay. And now it seems fairly easy, and I love it. So there you go. So it has to be something like that, right? But I'm also hoping that too. Okay, this is a babble, whatever. But okay. So right. So but even like see like with that group of friends and stuff like that, they were my first group of friends that this was something that we spoke about too, that I spoke about with my ex best friend, like where I'm like I've never really had like I've always had individual friends. Like, like I'm a lone wolf. I'm a hermit. Like, naturally, like, I stick to myself. I wasn't allowed, like I come from a very strict upbringing in terms of they didn't let me do nothing. If it wasn't school or work, I was home, that kind of thing. And was allowed to even pass the gate or go outside, like, use the phone, like, it's no wonder, certain conditioning will have you leave a home environment and find a similar outside environment to find yourself trapped in too. You know what I'm saying? But we learn from our experience and we can hold on to the experience and be woe me, or we can be like woke me, let me poke the bear, which is I, and let me get through this now. As much as I can in the leveling of readiness that I am on. And what leveling of readiness you're on, because who speaks for you? Who feels for you? Who lives for you? Who's here to understand, overstand you? Who you expecting to do that for you? Right? Even if you're partnered and you have a life partner, like I would never want to put onto my chosen life partner's shoulders feeling responsible for me in any kind of way that was heavy, you know. And I understand too, like when you are partnering and stuff like that with someone, it's not a load, it's not a thing, it's something that is supposed to be shared energy, synergy, right? Working together fluidly, like, you know. And so I just think about that, like, what was the point of that? Like, you know, you can be an individual and you can still be a partner to someone and still be your whole self with a partner. And my advice too is if you're not your whole self, if you want a partner and you don't have one right now, my advice then would be to stay the fuck by yourself until you feel in that whole palette of yours in a scrumptious kind of delicious kind of way before you go out there looking for some Tom, Dick, or Harry to come in and give you some kind of healing to your feelings. Because you're going to be dealing with some fuck shit energy too. If you think the unhealed versions of you go unseen, unheard in the energy realms of existence that are the powerhouse behind what you draw in and attract to yourself. Period. Period. How you feel is what you reveal to the world through what you're attracting towards yourself, or what patterns of behavior that you have yet to acknowledge within yourself that need to be broken or revisited so that they can be recalibrated, readjusted to your truth that is now, so that you can live in that full alignment, healthy, wealthy self, right, for yourself. But that's a whole other like ballgame of stories and stuff like that. And you know, it is what it is. But maybe, you know, all I know is that the kind of people that I draw in that speak to me, that we actually speak, you know, whether in whatever capacity way it is, you know, that our conversations are deep. They're just fucking deep, you know, deep, 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 deep. And they are not like any other conversations you have with the rest of the world. Never. At all. You know? And so on that note, you know, no matter what your social circle preference is, although I have a lot of loners that I draw in my energy management, like small circle, like, you know, sometimes no circle, right? Or just a very few, and it's not even a circle, it's just a person from that over there, a person from that over there, and it just makes up a handful, like, and they don't even form a circle because they may not even know each other, you know, and it's just, that's your circle though. And it's pieces of pockets, like something like that, right? And that's this whole friendship group circle, right? So your view on that too. So you really feel about that, or how have you been made to feel about that, right? I think about that. Or you're learning too, like the truth behind how people energetically feel towards you. And it's not that you're learning the truth, it's now you are discerning your truth because you're learning. And when you're learning, that means you're applying. And when you're applying, there's no denying. And if you're back to denying, then you're lying. And if you're lying, oh, then you're gonna be crying. You know? So it's like, see, focus on your target, aim for the center, refine your technique. Right. So it's like refining that in which you have learned up until this point in your own evolution path journey, and you're applying its mechanisms to your own alchemy alignment of choices that you're now making. And there still might be some debris, rubble, right, into the field that need addressing. Period. So I picked up another card. So bow down to the power which resides within you. Deep down, you are of that power, and of that power alone. You are neither that which you think nor that which you possess. Bow down to your divine power. Right? Back to the beginning. Right? And navigating through an upgraded version of your system. Those theatrics are being played out. It's like learning your own computer system and what it's all about instead of having someone come in from IT to maneuver the computer system themselves and then put codes and all this kind of stuff. It's the computer system awakening to itself and learning its system intellect. Like a computer stores, generates, gathers, right? And it presents, computes. Or has anyone ever asked the computer to compute itself? So it's consciousness at its most highest octave of understanding that you can possibly be on at this point in your journey. That's variety for everybody, right? Not everybody's the same. And it's implementing the wisdom and also studying it and teaching it. Because you are the decoder that encodes every code, a decode that uploads these downloads, that inflows, that whoa, it's macro, it's quantum, it's real, it's happening. And it's and it's like being on the brink of quantum achievement, right? And there's still nuances attempting to activate the potential. Roll it up and smoke it. Use that analogy. Like, it ain't nothing that you haven't seen before, because they're not even from the new order. They're from like the old paradigm, which is transforming. Evolution is constant in that kind of way. So we get into the micros, because that's how we manage, micromanage. We micromanage to macro operate. And so that's been quite the journey for even my YouTube, because that's what it started as. I didn't know. I was just doing what I was told, but finally, in a funny way that allowed me to be self-entertained through the whole process, right? Because think about it. Nobody can get you to do anything that you don't want to do when you don't want to do it, right? This is when you have free will and all this other kind of stuff. Like, you know, there's situations, circumstances that, you know, whatever. I'm not talking about the extreme circumstances. I'm talking about, you know, in life. Which is kind of like this, never mind, I'm not going to talk about that. There's certain things that are happening in this world that are being put up against one another, you know? And it's the same thing in our spiritual warfare battle of just knowing that the enemy, if you're going to view it from that perspective, right, has learned everything they could about you in order to infiltrate and attack your system. Okay, my awareness brings me to this point in time where I have to be aware of these certain kind of external energies that do not have my best interest in mind. And so, you know, that too, it took some time to, wow, there's people like that. Wow, okay. Okay, how much you don't like me? I don't do that shit. I still don't wish you a horror of a life. And I would be damned if I ever wish anything that has ever happened to me that may have been traumatic, abusive, or any kind of way that I would wish that any motherfucker body else, even if I didn't like them. No. And any mistake I have ever made in my entire life up until this point, do I ever plan on repeating or freaking living in those kind of energies again? No. If we learn the best that we can what we are given. And if we stay stuck on what was not given, or what was taken, or what we're up against, then where does our mental power lie? And how does that support our emotional warriors that want us to feel safe, secure? There's so much conditioning that we have to unlearn. We're doing it so that It doesn't have to be done anymore. You know how to really meditate on that saying, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Yeah, fight me. Think about it. For those that are really truly connecting with me on a soul genuine level, authentic as can be, right? See, I'm gonna phrase all of that. Many of us are rare breeds, and the world may not be ready for your rarity, but it can't stop its birth. Because as we know intellectually, any kind of energy that is born, created, that exists, no matter the strength of the energy that it may embody at any precise moment in time, because we all know attraction does exist, and energy, when put into sheer focus, with purpose and deliberation, mountains can be moved, right? I always chop it up into parts and then finish off somewhere else I had left off like 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, whenever. But it's mana for your whole, gifted to you, and using pieces that are parts to the entire evolutionary discovery of recovery, of uncovering all that is amazing. You know? Okay, so I paused that for a second just to gather my thoughts and stuff like that. So, just because like we say, with the things that we learn about ourselves, it's a constant state of evolution. And to understand our dynamics, to really comprehend our behaviors, our patterns, our conditionings for ourselves, stop trying to understand it for somebody else. Like, get into the spirit of knowing you so damn well, like the back of your own hand. When it comes to another that you connect with, vibe with, or just know, energy is energy, receive that you flow, you're good to know. Right? So, like, when you're going to understand a certain kind of thing about something, and then go to its energy, and then understand your relation to that energy. And here's where you can create your alchemy of truth that could be in perfect alignment with you, and navigate from there and be consistent with it. Consistency. Could be scary to someone that like, or is accustomed to change. Be a coping mechanism of life, having to always adapt to changing environments that you live that part. So anything that is invoking some kind of sticking around, you might be floating. Okay? Yeah, so like going back to like what I was saying before about if you're drawn to my channel or to me, then I'm not saying that we are alike in any kind of way, but there might be some similarities in certain kind of things, even if we're completely different. I find out with certain people that I connect with that we have such different lifestyles, upbringings, and views too, and mindsets as well. But there's some commonality, right? That we harmoniously meet and greet on an energy, frequency, vibration level, right? And to be able to coexist harmoniously. That's what I'll reference as like a soulmate. Although we're all soulmates, the ones that recognize one another, like when you know somebody or you don't know somebody, you know from somewhere. Okay, energy recognition. I would say that's like a soul mate, someone you you can tie everything and make everything so damn heavy to its its labeling, its title, and stuff like that. But it's human conditioning to tie something, bind something, bond something down and make it so heavy that it keeps coming back, to fulfill its cycle of some kind of completion, right? What was I saying? I don't know. I get so distracted with everything that I receive all at once, and then I become conscious at the moment, and then I draw a blank. That's how that be. And so, yeah, getting down into the business of understanding ourselves best so that we can operate at our most highest potential in our now moment, right? So, right, we don't have to be exactly the same, but maybe there's been a battle, a defense, an offense in your system of alignment where people have tried you, tested you, didn't really believe in you, even if they said they did, because there's the backup and belief, but that's an expectancy that, whatever your healing dynamics will bring into fruition when you're triggered by the memory, when you're trying to find a solution, you gotta be the resolution, right? Sometimes you gotta be forgiving where others don't even feel like there was an offense, right? So you have to learn to find your perception key of the turning skeleton key that's gonna be for you to go that deep to see the reality of how you're gonna move past those kind of certain things, right? So like being like the underdog, it's like people counting you out, but they needed you most, right? It's like being the friend that is there for everybody, but the popular friend, right, is the one that gets all the love from everybody. But everybody goes to you about that one too, right? And it's like, right, it's like being excluded and feared because people were counting you out before you ever counted yourself in. Um, and the part that they can't get over right now, too, if they're watching from a distance, too, if they know of anything that's going on in your life and they look, they cannot, they gotta take that seat and that in another life because there's a fudge over there, right? Closing that door, it's like, I'm not going over there, but hey, I see that you keep looking over here. Okay, so what? up with you. Okay, be pissed too, because bitter is not you. But anyway, I'm not channeling that. Right? So, and then, or it's like going to school all the way and not taking the final course. Or having so many different jobs and being really good at all of them, but not really finding your place, your home, your cement, your thing, your groove, your calling, right? Like a little bit of it all too, right? You fit in, you can do it all, but where do you belong, right? Meanwhile, you're the answer all along. And so you may have not felt as qualified as everyone else. But meanwhile, you're the doctor. You're the psychiatrist. You're human. You're the muse like dealer of a dealer. Whatever feels good in your presence. Even if you don't like to admit it. People like to rub on you because they feel it. And now you're in a fit position. You feel it. And no matter what age you are in this earthly realm, it's like, wow. Right, so now you move along in that line, you've had that time to settle in. And so now it's applied practice to the practical magic of the science that goes behind your application to the upkeeping and maintenance of your new territory, space, and energy, frequency, and vibration. Right? The only way you can ever see these people again, right, is if you meet them on their level, unless they're going to meet you on yours. Right? Energy, frequency, vibration. Energy, frequency, vibration. Right? And so you're understanding your mana best. And they don't have that playbook. But anyways, that was side notes to side notes because we're going back to the beginning. Right? When I first created this channel, this is, of course, break me out of my own shell and express myself, have another new outlet of video expression and stuff like that. Yeah. But part of my hang up too is like, why do I always have to be the serious one? Why can't I do something fun? And granted, I do little fun little things and stuff like that, but notice I don't stick to those things because it's not my, like, not that it's not my thing. I do all these things. I read cards, do the oracles, I do pick cards. I have fun. Like, I've been doing pick cards since early 2000. I don't even know, but a long time. But I started on the Instagram stuff. Like, I might be one of the originators of that one too. Like, or early on, because it's like 2000, I don't even know, 11, 10, 9, whenever I got this way. Anyways, it doesn't fucking matter. There's no originators of nothing. We're all like, anyway, cycling, same thing, and finding our own tone to the same thing. We let out each our own energetic frequency vibration that is light, even if it's dark. But anyways, here's the thing. So, yeah, so what was I saying? you talked to when you said to think fair. It was just like, okay. But right, back to the beginning. This may be back to the beginning 3. Back to the beginning by 3. Okay, right. It's as simple as can be. Right. So when I first started this channel, sure, there was a lot of multi-dimensional layers that were happening here, right? But part of my hang-up was, why do I have to be the this one, right? You know, do some fun stuff, and then also, like, why do I have to be so vulnerable? Because for me, that's vulnerability, right? Talking openly and just being in the channel and open, like, you know, knowing that feel everything. I don't give a fuck how my composure is. I don't care if I never mention it. I don't care if I don't say nothing. I don't care if you can't even see past my poker face. You don't mean I don't feel. Even when I'm not live, right? On these things, and I'm doing a recording. And sometimes I go into like a trance of like, because I say something and then I see the vision of the response or the energy of the see, and like I go into that state of futuristic kind of thing. And it's just like, you know, it's an interruption of this time based on this 3D that you can see that I have to pause for a second, but it's all simultaneously happening at the same motherfucking time, past, present, future. Right, so so yeah, we're qualified alchemists here. Or, and if we're not yet qualified alchemists here, then we have the potential to hear and hear. If you're able to retain this information here without having to even play it back, you see? And that's a leveling of revelation of your own intellectualism to be able to process the information of this system that comes up on some orgasmic, telling system that I don't even gotta think about. Yeah. When I think about it, I figure out one thing. What? Oh, okay. Right. So back to the beginning in terms of hello system. So back to the beginning. Why do you do what you do? What is the purpose behind what you do? What you do? What is the why behind what you do? What you do? Understand that to its fullness, capacity, right? Someone asked me the other day. They said, "How do you stay in alignment when so much is going on?" That's it. That's a bit challenging, especially if something comes at you sideways or this way or that way, and you're like, hold up, how do I not be reactive to this, right? That's why if you like watch any of my other videos and stuff like that, and I talk about having a go-to question that you go to instantly upon being triggered that can resolve all triggers. So for me, for example, I always give it like a small example, but there's one of many, and just sharing one of my many. Okay, I'm my only one, but I give this one for example purposes because it's a very simple one to just have because the concept in itself has set me up. It has caused me to take a step back and look back when I did not want to. Right, so my go-to question is, what do you want from all of this? No matter what the situation is, that's a go-to question that applies to every single situation I've ever put the root of it. What do you want from this? right? I could be greedy. I could say, oh, I could say, I don't want to label it that. I could say, I hope someone's like, oh, happy. Or, I want to be joyful. I want to be having a great time. Like, I could say whatever. But in the root of roots in this lifetime, in this realm, with all the stages of life experience that I have had, trust me when I say I want peace in all my scenarios. That feels abundant. And that just rocks really well with me. So, yeah, peace. Consider after okay. Okay. Right. So you go to trigger questions when triggered to ask yourself that'll help keep your mental state emotionally checked. Okay. Right? And the only way that you can build such disciplines is with your consistency by doing it, especially when you don't want to, especially when it's the most challenging to do. That is sacrifice. Right? People think of sacrifice as this, oh my god, sacrificial lamb, I gotta draw blood, I gotta do this, I gotta make candle, I gotta do all this kind of stuff. Sacrifice is sometimes just doing the right fucking thing for the greater good of the all, despite how you feel about the situation. And granted, sometimes it could be like biting a bullet. And you bite into that bullet and you're like, but the more you become accustomed into doing what is right in your own alignment, right, will create more of that which you create for yourself. For that matter. You ain't gonna fucking come from the world. And there are gonna be situations that you're gonna have to just sit in, feel, deal, heal through, purposely, intentionally, dedicatedly, consistently, especially when you've had enough of it yourself. And they could do that for you, even if it's somebody else's fault. It's like going back to the reality of losing my mother. There was nothing that nobody could tell me that was going to make that setting of life that I had to eat okay. So no, I don't want to hear your sympathy, nor your condolence, because it's a reality that I can't do shit and it fucking sucks. That was my mindset. I'm not fuck your condolence. Come a long way. And sometimes we have to meet that grief, meet that hurt. What are the kind of questions you ask yourself in those kind of situations that will activate the evolutionary you, to get past what is uncomfortable, what hurts, what's sad, what's traumatic. Me, like I said, get to the root of the energy, the feeling, so that you could be standing in your truth like it's law, no matter what it is. Let them also tell you different. You're entitled to yours, right? Some people say, oh, you're such a hard ass, that's gangster, that's this and that's that and that's this. No, it's just you authentic in your truth, in your know power, KNOW. And you know there's no swaying or persuading. How are you going to persuade me when I already know what I want and don't want or what I think about this situation? How are you going to come at me sideways because you come in with your opinion? It's like it changes any kind of truth existing within me. How are you going to try to force your opinion or your stance or your agenda onto me, inflicting with your disease of tyrannical, tyranny? It becomes like that. And some people can say, well, I can't be like that because I'm up against the world. So stop fighting the world. I have a lot of strong opinions that I keep to my motherfucking self, knowing that it doesn't help anyone in any kind of way. If I react and respond in that kind of way, even if it's just my own right to opinionate. So I wait, because I know that divine alchemy and divine things come into being for me that present to me the expression tool that I will use eventually in whatever divine right time of the line that will communicate if that is what I'm to do, what it is that I may be challenged to not say it this moment in time because I'm reacting to it in some kind of way. I'm not saying I have to be perfect in that. Hello, didn't hear? Or in another video I said, sarcasm for days. I got something to say about everything. If I'm quiet, I'm just quiet, okay? Don't mean I don't got nothing to say. Don't mean I'm gonna say it either because you antagonize or push or trigger. And this is too discernment being practiced into you, for you, being able to communicate effectively and healthily in the energy external from you that you choose to engage in and live. And hopefully in your alignment, it's in a good way that provides resolution, solution, or just healthy communication between multiple parties in any situation. I was talking to someone earlier who has strong opinions about something that's going on in this world today. This strong opinion is not mine. Because of who the person was, I found myself in my awareness, I'm just sharing, doesn't mean that I reacted or responded in any kind of way outside of my alignment. It's just in my consciousness, I know. That I was slightly triggered because of who the person is in my life. And for me, certain kind of tyrannical arrogance just rubs me the wrong way, right? Because, you know, to each their own. But when you impose your view or stance or position, commanding it for all in such a strong, forceful way, I think of trauma and abuse. So it's gonna rub me the wrong way. But I'm not that unhealed aspect of myself that once was. So in my present day moment of no power, I know that I'm just from my behaviors, conditioning, patterns, and traumatic PTSD kind of experience that's causing a trigger at this time. But in my awareness, I'm not triggered at this time because intelligence is my mind. This I know, this I show, this I grow. And now I know. So let this person sow their own seed. And I just make my exit, you know what I mean? And they got it really quickly. I was like, okay, this is when I go now. Thank you so much for your chat. It was lovely. Great. Thanks for calling. Have a wonderful day. Till we see you. Bye, girl. That's how I handle it. They got the point. They got the point. But it goes without saying that they still try. Which is fine. Which brings me back to the you that is here. An evolution is so clear in the path that you're most likely the first of everything in terms of energy, frequency, vibration, and evolution and experience on your beautiful 3D story presenting itself to you. So, in simplified words, you are the unique, beautiful soul from your family that is different than everybody else. Whether it's in your town, neighborhood, immediate upbringing, you were different. But yet, you were able to keep on. We're going to talk about that more here. Because that's why I'm here. I talk about evolutionary things that are helpful to everyone in different parts and different pieces, whichever way I feel guided to chat about. But if you go back to my 2016 videos, that's what I was doing. I was sharing with you practical guidance on how to maneuver on this 3D plane, even if you don't like what's happening. It's gonna be around you. How you have to resist. How you have to lose that. I even smoked cigarettes, honey. I'll share that journey. It's a very powerful, empowering story. It's real. It happens. And I lived it one night completely. Vanished. Transmuting. You turned that addiction to its sender, its origin, its beginning. Deeper than love, but deep. And let me tell you something. If you knew me, then you would know that Sam has been an active part of my life for a long time due to upbringing. I think it's been 4 years now. No touched it. Don't want to. Don't crave it. Don't need it. Don't need a substitute for it even. Anyway, that's just one of many things to share. And the pieces that are pieces to the parts of the whole that make up a whole. And it's evolution in pieces because we are the parts. And we each have something to contribute that is unique. You just have to discover your song, your melody. Think big about yourself. What is the point of thinking yourself small? Making yourself small? Connect with your divine self and be what you are. Be what you are. Nonsense. Life's too short to spend time weighing up everywhere, so try talking nonsense. But alright, so I guess this is gonna be part 3. Actually the beginning part 3. It's kind of just like a babble of many kind of things. I'm gonna play it back. I'll timestamp eventually. And I'm sure I'll write down what I didn't complete in my saying to see if maybe I do it in another video. Because I'm sure there are things that I didn't complete in my saying, my talking and stuff like that, but that's how it is. I'm just so thankful, for evolution, because to be able to really hone in on the amount of work that's worth every ounce of effort you have put into your own self-evolutionary development. You should be proud of yourself. Anybody else trying to shame you for any kind of fucking thing that they got no business trying to freaking even attack you on and all this kind of stuff, let them speak of themselves, even if they put your name in them. It is what it is. You could take a pen, but then that would be your trigger to let you know that somewhere along your alignment, there's a truth not being presented to you, or there's something there that you're not in full truth about. You know how I'm saying when somebody says something that rubs you the wrong way, and when you go and you break down into the beginning, to the root of the rub the wrong way, because there's some level of truth to what they said and you got bothered by it, do something like that. In regards to the truth. When someone triggers you, thank them for mirroring to you. Because we're all one another's mirrors. So even if we don't like every fucking mirror we see. And it's not so much that, oh, I'm not like that, so how can that person be my mirror? But the fact that you're able to see them through Ooh, like a mirror. I see you. That's self-personalizing it and it doesn't resonate in that kind of way. Doesn't mean you don't see the mirror before you. I see a lot of things in the mirror that are not me. Is it fun for me? Is it for me? So what you see, right? What you see, that's for you. Take it as you will. And stop faulting others for not seeing what you see when it's for you. Right? So, there's a lot of growth on this channel. There's plenty of mana for those that are disciplined to receive it. There have been things that I have heard that have been taught to me that I didn't receive because I wasn't listening. I wasn't equipped to that level of listening. I was closed off to it. And then there'll be times that same time, that same thing presents itself at another point, right? Where, oh my gosh, I heard it. I received it. Now I can, like many people I've seen do a lot, will be hung up instead of enjoying the expansion of evolution and growth. They're dwelling on their inability to have got it the first time, and so they don't celebrate or enjoy the now moment when you do. And then there are people that evolve and grow and stuff like that and get it and, great. Evolution is you. Don't just, there's so many different people in the room. And will be so many different people in the room. But, many of you that do connect with me and that do listen, receive, learn, whether you say it or not, or, whatever it is may be. You're the first of your kind. So no one got the fucking solution for you. We are the solution. That's a gift. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. Chances. You Babbles. This is your moment in time to see anything that you would like me to answer for you or speak about in any of my upcoming new videos that will be posted whenever they are, because I am also random like that. Make sure to connect with me on any kind of level link that you would like to connect further with me on. There will be a master link provided in the description box that is the master link of all links that link you and I to every single social media platform or platform that I have that is available for you and I to connect on in every kind of multi-dimensional good as fed way. Yes, I have a lot of good content on those platforms that you will see, and then there are also services and merchandise. I don't say merchandise. Things that I need, things like that I do, and my book available for purchase and download on Amazon, The Dark Nightlight of My Soul, #1 Lovely Oracle book. Send to anywhere on the page, and you will receive your Lord's Oracle message in every kind of as such way. Okay, thanks. So do it in that kind of way. You can read it from beginning to end. You can always use it for daily doses of inspiration, and you can turn to any random page for your oracle message in your journey of evolution, and it will apply. And if it doesn't, let me know. But no, it will apply if you stand and open your mind. This is your opportunity to really like this video, to show some love, and yeah, I'm just grateful for those of you that do take the time to connect with me here and on other platforms too, and to be the gift of reciprocity too in the manner that is here for you and I on this evolutionary rise of an awesome journey that we are on. I'm so grateful. I'm thankful. I'm so grateful and thankful. I'm so grateful and thankful. And following me on Instagram, I've been sharing a lot more there too in terms of my writing in the story box, the description box, or whatever, and stuff like that. Sharing pieces of just like, my own growth process journey, and why I think the way that I do, or where it comes from. And that for me is another new level of vulnerability, because I tend to say everything is my business. If you think whatever they want, it's actually anything. But that would be not peaceful. Right? I can say these things, I'm just giving it as an example. Right? But yeah. So I've been sharing a lot more over there too in regards to just my deep sea dives into all of this. So if you have any questions from over there, feel free to ask them anywhere, here, there, anywhere. Engagement is beautiful. To be able to engage with all of you who find the courage to do so. I'm in a part of my journey where I am accepting my part, that it's different than everyone around, and it's healing parts of me that I was not even aware needed healing. And it feels good. There's so many different layers to us multidimensionally and, really, and there's so much things going on. We are souls having a human experience. The humans and the babies. And they've been fed everything. So don't get too caught up and stuck on some kind of thing you think, because you've been fed that too. Okay? So how do you stay best in your alchemy? By getting to the root of your truth in any given energy situation. So if someone triggers you, why does it trigger you? These are some questions you can ask. Why am I being triggered right now? Why does this bother me? What is the feeling that I'm feeling that is triggering me? How is this making me feel? What is that feeling like? Where have I felt this before? Is this something that has been building between me and this person, thing? How do I want to feel about the situation? So it's triggering me. How can I resolve this situation? What is the best solution for all involved, so that I can act in my highest accordance to my alchemy of truth without making myself feel any type of way other than break in the potential situation. How can I act in my highest potential for my highest self? What do I need to do right now to not be triggered for that? How can I best handle this and handle it at a better time when I'm more equipped to handle it from an emotional and mental rational state of mind and feeling? How can I swerve this shit? How can I not be annoyed by this? What makes me feel good? What can I look at around me right now that will make me feel great? What can I look now within myself that can help me to feel great? Let me connect to source. Let me connect to my angels. Let me connect to my guides. Let me feel my ancestors' pride. Yeah. Enjoy the beauty of life here. Your supply is unlimited. Blessings are coming to you. Abundance. Oh, my unifying little message starting down. Receive. Be open to receiving good news. Goodness. Goodness and good news. Believe you are worthy of abundance. The gift is coming to you soon. Yeah. Teamwork will give you a better result. You find trustworthy people to partner with. Build up a talented support team partnership. Beautiful. Imagination. Envision a new reality. Give yourself permission to dream. Believe in unlimited possibilities. Abundance again. Enjoy the bounty of life. Your supply is unlimited. Blessings are coming to you. Sanctuary. Take time out from the world. Spend more time alone. Meditate or go on a retreat. Cycles. Everything has its right time. Honor the cycles of your body. Tune into the moon's measure. Compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. Set the light in yourself and others. Nice. Alrighty, so again, thank you so much. This is your opportunity again to, if you still are here and you didn't do any of the above before, like your love, kindness, support in any kind of way, like what the fuck is the problem? Like seriously. But either way, thank you so much. I don't know if it's going to be 2 videos or one. I don't know after I do this, but hold on.